Introvert's Guide to Selling. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths and I'm an introvert, and for many years running an online business and being an introvert is kind of counterintuitive, because as an introvert people think that you completely hide away, and I definitely hide away. I hide away at home a lot. I'll do the school run, but I don't really see that many people, and I'm really shy, and I'm quite happy just being in my own space, being in my own company, and I get exhausted when I'm at a big event, like if I'm meeting loads of people or I'm on stage or something like that. I find it really draining and exhausting, and I would never ever do something like running a big retreat or event, because I know it wouldn't match my energy and I would find it really exhausting. When you meet me personally, I'm really social, I'm really friendly, and people think, oh wow, she's really bubbly and friendly and enthusiastic, and that's true. But then I go away and I retreat, and I definitely, if I've had a big day, like meeting loads of people, I need a day to reset afterwards, and I have to really guard my energy. So doing some kind of retreat or something for 4 days, 5 days would just be too much for me. So I don't do that. So how can you build an online business and still guard your energy and your sanity? And one of the best ways for you as an introvert to sell is through video. As I mentioned, I'm an introvert, but I can show up and do video. So I will have a day where I do a bunch of videos. And so today I went and got my hair done. It looks better than normal, even if it doesn't look perfect. And I'll put some makeup on, not always happening, and then I will do a bunch of videos. So I prepare what I'm going to talk about, I do a bunch of videos, and I can show up, I can be enthusiastic and talk to you on camera, and then it's job done. And then it means those videos can be scheduled, can go out. So it means that I will probably film, I don't know how many videos I'm filming today, but I'll film a bunch. And so it means that I probably have a month, 2 months worth of content. And from that means that I don't have to be this presence that's out there. My videos do the talking for me. And one of the things that I've really done to look after myself is not do everything. Do the things that suit me, rather than feeling guilty because I'm not doing this thing that someone else is doing. And when you are doing something that doesn't feel right, feels icky, feels draining, then it's not going to work because you don't feel happy and in flow with it. And so in the same way that as an introvert, if you're doing something where you're like, oh, I'm amazing, look at me, it's really draining and soul-sucking, and you're not going to sell, because you might sell some, but you're not in alignment with who you are. And so for me, a few years ago, I used to do these Facebook challenges, and you might remember me doing them, but I would always wear these big crazy hats, and basically I would let the hats do the talking for me because I found it so exhausting. I'd wear get these crazy hats and I'd wear those and it would be fun, but it meant I could kind of hide behind that. That was like, oh, it was a persona that I could wear. But actually I got to a point where I was like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of giving all my energy to that. And particularly as I've navigated divorce, being a single parent, raising an autistic child, I have to put so much energy into keeping my son on track and okay. And I love doing that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to in any way feel like that is something, it's a negative, but it means that I don't have the energy to give my business in the same way. And so I had to find easy ways that guarded my energy, that managed the process of selling so I could sell with ease, show up as an introvert, sell, be confident, do all those things, but have a very concise window. So I did my thing off I went and did something else, rather than it feeling like it sucked all of my energy and went on and on. Because the online world is a little bit like an abusive relationship. It can suck everything out of you if you allow it to. And that's not really the way you want to run a business. You want to have a business that you can manage and you have boundaries around, and that you can really say, okay, these are the hours that I work, but actually I have a life and I do other stuff. And so if you are in any way feeling overwhelmed and exhausted and drained by your business, I've met so many people where they have these amazing businesses and they get burnt out and overwhelmed, and then they can't actually pick up their business again and do the work because they're burned out and exhausted. So I found that the best way to manage that is to make it easy, is to make it such a simple process that maybe it doesn't have the big rah-rah and maybe you don't get the same amount of sales. But by consistently doing that, you're consistently making income rather than it being this big rah, and then you're so burned out you can't do it ever again. One of my clients, you know, she had a really big 6-figure launch and multi-6-figure launch. And then afterwards she was so drained, she didn't do another video for another 2.5 years. She didn't sell for about 3 years. And you can't do that in a business. You have to keep going. So for me, I would much rather do slow and steady. I'd much rather be the tortoise that plods rather than the hare who has this amazing, look at me, I'm amazing, and then gets burned out. I've always been a plodder. I've always been the one who, at school, I was never the most amazing, talented, clever person. But I worked hard and consistently, and it paid off. And so I think that if you consistently work where you have smaller launches that are more manageable, that are easier, that are simpler, where they're streamlined, they're not complicated, there doesn't have, I got rid of all my team, I don't have a big hoo-ha team, which I found really stressful. Instead, I keep it really simple. I just have my virtual assistant who helps me with things, and I have somebody who does the tech. It's just really easy. I leave them voice notes. I say, can you help me with this? Can you do this? I do a Loom video of what to do. And that's it. I don't have to have meetings. We used to have meetings every day. We used to do this. I used to be ticking people's homework. And that I found more debilitating and exhausting and draining. Plus, I was spending thousands on Facebook ads, thousands on, team members and staff and all this stuff. And it was like, actually, where's the profit? Now I make less money, but much more profit because it's simpler. The process is simple. So it's streamlined, it's simple. I don't have loads of people, so I don't have the overheads of staffing or like tech or systems or all of that stuff. It's just easy. And because it's easy, sometimes I do the launch myself. So I don't need anybody. And I actually, before the summer holidays, I set up my launch, the September launch. I set it up like in July because I realized if I wanted to do it the date I was going to do it in September, I literally had 3 days after my son went back to school. So there was no way it would happen unless I set it up in July. So I set up everything. I did the emails, I did the social media, I did everything in September. And then it meant that I could go straight into the launch. I had my launch, I got in my launch window that I wanted to get, and it meant that I have a calendar of other things that I want to launch. And there's not going to be this nagging voice of like, oh, you've not done this launch, you've not done this. So it becomes easier. And make your launches easy. Make it simple. Make it that as an introvert, it's not overwhelming, that it's not draining on your energy. And if you set up everything, if you automate, if you have your videos automated, just like I'm filming this video will lead you to, if you're interested, to my launch plan, my easy launch plan. So check that out, it's a free guide. And that is all part of, you know, a strategy for me to grow my email list, but it's in an easy, manageable way. So if you make your launches easy, everything else becomes much simpler. And it means that you're still selling, because at the end of the day, do you want to have something where it's like, oh, it's starry 6 figures? Or do you want something that's simple, easy to launch, and you are more likely to do it again and again? And so for me, I'd rather have 4 launches a year that are simple rather than one big one where I'm then so burnt out I can't face doing another one. Because a few years ago, I had a launch, well, multiple launches. I had a coach who tried to get me to launch every 6 weeks. Oh my God, it was terrible. It was so awful. I hated it. It was awful. And it was the most draining, awful, terrible thing I've ever been through in business. I absolutely despised it. And so it put me off launching. I didn't launch for a year. And so who wins? Nobody. So I'd rather just keep it simple, really low key, but it means that you do it more often. And as an introvert, you can manage your energy, manage your boundaries without feeling overwhelmed. So you're more likely for it to happen, and you resonate with the people who connect with that kind of energy, who don't want the big, oh, I'm amazing. They just want what you've got to offer, and they like the way that you show up. They like you for who you are. So thank you for watching this video. I share loads of tips and strategies about growing your online business easily and simply, without the big noise and the bro marketing and the hoo-ha-ha. And if you'd like to stick around, please click to subscribe, and don't forget to check out my download below. Take care, have a great day. Bye, bye, bye.